So here I'm going to try the same deck that I've been doing for so long in Wild, but I usually haven't gotten very far with it, so I actually want to push it. It's not actually letting me do anything though. Here. So I'm actually going to do Wild Ranked, and what's going to happen is that we're going to get as far as it'll let us get without costing us stars, but then after that, I could also do another arena. Getting to gold rank. I can't believe I lost my legend card back. So, I forget how this even works. In fact, I don't think I've really done it since they changed it to the new whatever it is. Obviously, it's still going to be wild. So what am I? Chicken rank 10. Let's see what I can do. Oh, this is going to be bad. But you would think at this level it should be easy. Just like in chess, right? It's like I'm smurfing in everything I do. I'm pretending to be bad just so I can beat up on even worse people. So the goal isn't just, oh, min-max, make the best thing and try to win. It's try to win with something that's kind of actually interesting or cool, or that is kind of uncommon in this case too. I guess you could justify keeping a brawl. In fact, my whole mulligan thing with this was just get rid of everything except for Iron Juggernaut and the hero here, Dr. Boom. Those are the only two things you care about. So don't worry about cost in the mulligan. I should have tossed everything because it wasn't one of those two. Because you don't want to be sitting there the whole game waiting for that, especially this one. You really need it. So these turn 1 and 2s can be kind of weak, unfortunately. And so it seems like the game sound is too high, actually. Look at that. But it's just music, so it shouldn't matter a whole lot. But yeah, I definitely want to actually play Magic the next episode that I do it, instead of just fighting against the AI the whole time. I was getting pretty pissed. I did it for like almost 5 hours, and all I was doing was fighting the AI, because they force you to do that. They do it in this game too, and in most other games, but it usually doesn't take that long, I feel like. I was actually losing to AI in a card game. So, what kind of druid thing is he doing? He's doing the quest. Spend 10 mana, summon a minion from your deck. I don't know what this actually is. Dormant for 2 turns. When it awakens, reduce the cost of a minion in your hand. There's only a 3/3. It's an okay effect. Kind of even too slow, but then my whole deck concept is very slow. See, even this, you're just trying to stack the bombs in their deck. I'm sure there are different things I could add to it too to make it better. Because, you know, like from all the new sets. I haven't looked at this since a long time in terms of actually adding to it. I just come on and play once in a while. But there are probably ways to make it better while still preserving the theme. So I should look through that, but I don't really have the patience today to do that. I just want to get in and play. I mean, it is good at times. Like, look how many bombs we put in there. We put 4 already. So if we got super lucky, he could draw all 4 right now and I just win. He's obviously got some kind of high cost stuff, so we might see... What is that 12/12 thing called again? I forget, but he might have that. It's just like the summons are very stale, right? You summon something and it just... That's all it is a 3/3, it's a 5/5. It's just, that's not viable anymore. Like, you get a 4/10, you get all these crazy effects. That's the weakness of it. And there's no defensive stuff either. I have 0 healing, aside from what you get from using that the first time and also using the hero power over time. But this is good because it's at least a little bit sticky, but still... This is where you can easily lose on tempo. Just, he gets a 4... Gonna buy a 75-inch TV. That's pretty big. You'd have to sit. I feel like that's one where you have to sit all the way across the room, right? To be able to appreciate it. Like a movie theater screen. I don't think... My biggest one was only like maybe 30 to 40. Alright, so here he has 4 left. Now the Dr. Boom play is pretty cool. Let's do this. You imagine like a chess streamer buying like a 10k PC, right? Like Alex or whoever, and it's like, I'm gonna buy 10k PC Alienware just to play chess, because that's all they play half the time. You only have a 65, wow. You want 120 hertz? So in this case, this is what I mean. This move is just bullshit. Like, what just happened? Even if you... I do have Brawl. But it's almost like... I don't even know what just happened. Like, look how insane that move was. If you put that move in, like, the beginning, first 10 expansions of Hearthstone, that's the most overpowered bullshit you've ever seen. So even if I kill it, like, I'm not even going to worry about it. I'm just going to stack stuff up and try to buy time. And then I can always brawl once this thing is dead. That's what I'd rather wait for. The hero power is really good, but it's unpredictable, so it's kind of hard to play around. You have a 10k PC, and I only really play chess. Sometimes a few games, but rarely. It's like they would get a sponsorship from some big company, you know, because they are so popular, but they have no use for it, really. So we go... Okay, this is fine, so I can kill this. I could theoretically have used Warpath there too, but this should be... The odds are kind of in my favor here. It's just like... Fighting games sometimes? What, like Street Fighter? So 4-5 isn't too bad. I would want to summon this maybe to counter. But see, if you just keep summoning big stuff like that, I'm not going to be able to keep up with it. That's not what this deck is about. Although he's not putting much concern into his health. So if this is where you're dying for the Iron Juggernaut. If I can just get it in there, at least I have a chance. What does this even do? Discover a dragon. 4-8 for 6 with taunt is insane, first of all. Isn't that just like... What is some of this power creep stuff? This isn't even a brand new card, is it? This has been out for a while. I think I've seen it before. It's just... What did it used to be? Like a Fen Creeper was 6, right? A 3-6 taunt for 6. So add 1 attack, add 2 health, add an effect. You don't lose the taunt. Okay. It's almost like I want to do this just to see what I get. So if I could flip it a few times, that'd be perfect. But I'm just not getting it. I think that's a very premature use of Execute on a 4-5. He's going to have a lot of bigger stuff that I need it for. So you should never do that. I haven't played fighting games in a long time. Like, I used to be really into Smash. It's kind of disappointing that never took off as an esport in the way that I always thought it would or it could. It was just never that big. It just seems so perfect. If you'd rather watch League than Smash? Because Smash is so much more straightforward. It's like you know what's happening even if you don't understand all the nuances of it. League, you have to know all the item trees and this and that, and it's like... Okay, so we're down to... Yeah, see, speaking of stuff that is too strong. So we could use a good Warpath combo here. In fact... Oh, it's going to kill mine anyway because I'm going to have to do it 5 times. So what if we just do this? And then we can execute Alexstrasza. The problem is I'm going all in just to stay alive, and this isn't going to do me any good. Now I'd have to do that. It's like my last gasp. So yeah, you really want the Iron Juggernaut at some point there. Even if I had gotten it, it's unlikely he would have died from it because he has 15 cards left. I don't know how to get him to cycle through better. I got the Murlocs, I got the... There's got to be something more I can put in here. Just like better value stuff. He's kind of doing it to himself a little bit, though. I could get lucky here. And that's one thing you should never do against me in this case, is like just play nothing on the board. If you just play one thing, I'm screwed because I can't do that. I just can't do it. I'm gonna do it anyway. Now they all... That's kind of a stupid play. You should have taken the armor. The likelihood of him doing 6 is very high now. Fuck, why did I do that? Okay, that's acceptable. 2 random ones, even if it's these 2, it's fine. What you could do is you could clone this. And, oh, but it puts it in your deck, not your hand. Or you could return it to your hand. That's always an amusing thing to do. As long as I can... I'm going to have to sack it, though. That's why Zola the Gorgon is so good, because you can copy it and then still attack into it. Whenever you cast a spell, summon a random 3-cost beast. What is this one even? Kel'thuzad. If you played 4 other dragons this game, craft a custom deck of treasures. Custom deck? Not a custom card like Kazakis, right? I guess I don't even know who that is from WoW. It must have been something that... Yeah, I don't know about this. Even if I did that, I wouldn't be able to play it the same turn. Yeah, maybe I should look through, because I could have as much dust as I really want. Like, I have so many things I could disenchant. That's the ironic thing. If I never disenchanted anything ever, I would have every card in the game and I'd have dust to spare. But I always just get impatient. I'm like, fuck it, let me just disenchant everything and make one specific deck because I want to play it. And of course, I never buy stuff. Like, I've never done microtransactions with it. I mean, there's nothing I can do. Fuck.
I give up.
You see my magic decks? Your mind will be blown. It probably wouldn't be, though, because I wouldn't comprehend the difference between... Like, I don't know what the norm is in Magic anyway, so everything would just seem crazy to me anyway. At least here I can compare, like, how much the power creep has ruined the game, which I'm sure happens in every card game, but... It's just such a night and day difference from what it used to be. Where, like, simple is always better. They try to make it way too over the top. I don't know what would be good for this. Like, let me think about the main components, right? Return to hand. I can't look like that. What does the Brewmaster actually say? Return a friendly minion. So nothing else in the game. There must be a different phrasing for it. Return a minion. Return a minion to its owner's hand. But you have to combo into it. So that's not really a very good card anyway. If you control a secret, return a minion. It's amazing how few... Oh, these are rogue cards anyway. Let's just look at, like, general class cards, because class cards tend to be very strong. Like, let's look at them from, like, new-ish expansions. Deal 1 damage, give it 1 attack. Anything that seems like it would synergize with this whole idea. That has nothing to do with it. Reveal a card 3 times. Draw any of yours that cost more. Nothing. Your minions can't be reduced below 1 health this turn. That doesn't matter. Infuse is kind of not something I care about. Discover a weapon. Summon 1/3 jailers with taunt. If you have 20 health or less, give them +1/+1. Gain. That's all of the warrior cards? I mean, I guess it's just one expansion, but gain +1/+1. Attack all enemies. Rush. Oh, this was a pretty cool one. I like this. This is awesome for Arena. I think somebody used it against me in Arena. So, yeah, nothing really to see there. What other expansions did I not see? Stormwind, Barons. Why does Stormwind not even seem familiar? I remember the Barons, for sure. Core. So this is just like the last 2 years that they let you use. Choose a friendly minion, draw 3 pirates, deal 2, nothing. Deal 3, stuff that just deals damage or gains armor is no value to me. What is tradable again? All these mechanics that I just don't even know what they are. Whatever. Who cares? You can probably switch it for another card if you want. Give your hero +2 attack. Don't care about that. Tradable. After this takes damage, summon random stuff. Summon a minion from your deck. Shuffle 2 golem part. That's horrible. At the end of your turn, attack a random. This is all crap. I'm complaining about power creep, but some of these aren't even that interesting. Gain plus 10 attack and can't. Oh shit. Huh. There'd be no way to really use that for. Unless there's some weapon that does like overkill damage, like if you deal extra damage to a minion beyond its health value, it'll hit your face. There might be a weapon like that now. Gain 10 at the start, lose 5. At the end of your... Wait. Why would that even matter? Oh, it'd be like some... When you think they're going for their final kill, it'll just buy you time that turn. It's almost like a poor version of Ice Block. Although, arguably, it's better because you keep 5. Or like Ice Barrier-ish. At the end of your turn deal... Okay, nobody cares about that. Cost 2 less. Play a taunt. Add 2 grunts. Some of these are so specific they don't have any overall synergy. Destroy a damaged minion. Freeze a lot of ice theme here, yeah. Draw a weapon. Deal damage equal to something. If you have gained 15 or more armor plus... That's it, though? Like... I don't know. Equip a 5/2 unstoppable force. So somebody must have the immovable object too. Deal 2 damage, gain 4 armor. I saw that. Deal 4 damage to all minions. Cost 1. Okay, fine. None of this stuff is impressive at all. Sunken City. Or did I already look at that? Now I forgot which way I was going. I don't think I saw anything with the Nagas. So they added the Nagas as like a new minion type. Replace your deck with minions that cost 5 or more. They cost 5. This almost reminds me of that rogue one, right? The Crystal Caves or whatever. Put a Sunken Trident on the bottom of your deck. I don't know what it does though. After your hero attacks, deal. That's it. Sometimes the warrior cards just seem underwhelming. Like even the Death Knight hero for the warrior was kind of lackluster, but it still managed to be effective in certain scenarios. You just have to work so hard to, compared to like the mage one that's just amazing by default. Even if you just have an elemental heavy deck and don't even use the hero power, you could just get lifesteal for everything. Add a random colossal minion to both players' hands. Now this, it doesn't, the Sunken City isn't the Sunken Temple, right? From my experience with the game, that wouldn't justify a whole expansion. It must mean the, whatever it is, with N'Zoth and Azara, right? Which I didn't obviously play a while at that time, so I wouldn't even know the whole details of it, but at first I thought that's what it was. They made a whole expansion just about the Sunken Temple. Dredge, nobody cares about that. Give all weapons, okay. Isn't there a card just like that already? There's literally a card that says the exact same thing. I forget which one. +1 to all weapons. If you have something equipped, discover 3 pirate. Oh, no more pirates, dude. We've been there, done that. I don't want to ever see a pirate deck again. Deal 5, gain 5. Even when I was winning with it, when I used it myself, it was just like such a... It's like doing rapid in chess. It just feels bad even if you win because it's just not satisfying. Deal 5, gain 5, attack 3 random enemies. The Hydra cards are always pretty fun, like the Hunter one that doubles attack every time it takes damage, or the, what was the other one? The one that deals 3 damage to you if they, every time they damage it, like so they could do like defile into it. That destroys people. So you defile their whole board, you won't even kill it, but you'll hit it like 5 times from killing other stuff, or like Warpath or something. You just make a very Hydra heavy deck. I don't see anything that I could make use of. I guess Wild would just show me everything. Yeah, nothing really stands out. Let me just try it as is. Let me try to spot the deficiency. That's a game I like to play in any sort of turn-based game. It's like, look at why you're losing, if you lose, and try to just address that. So I'm going to lose because I don't have enough healing, or I'm going to lose because I don't have enough board clear, so I can address that. But then when I do that, I'll lose because of something else. Maybe what I took out to put in what I just did. So you eventually get to a point where you have everything. But basically what you'll realize, they make too many of the same character. You don't lose when you play Magic ever? You must lose somewhat. Even if what, you have a 70% win ratio, is pretty good. Always win, I kind of don't believe that. Even when I got to legend rank in this, it was such a back and forth thing. It was one of the most frustrating things ever, actually. Like, you could never get to legend rank 1, no matter how good you are just based on that. You would have to... It was just like almost dumb luck at some point, because everybody's using the same decks. So you'd win 1, lose 1, win 2, lose 2. You'd just be hard stuck forever. Until one season, maybe you'll get lucky and break through. But even the best players don't get to legend rank every single, or like legend 1 every single season, right? That's completely impossible to control. And believe it.
The time has come to dethrone our former master.
So, I don't know what the deck size thing is. Because there is no limit to your deck size in the first place, right? You can have 40 cards anyway, as far as I'm aware. So they're using like new cards and try-hard cards, I'm sure. Power creep up the wazoo. You're a magic god. The chess god and a magic god. Which one are you better at then, would you say? If we look at it this way, you just trade into that, get something back at 2/2, draw a weapon, nobody cares. If you can just play on curve for a bit, it can work out. Basically, you want to keep charging the Juggernaut into something, like maybe the water elementals, if they're going to be using that. And then, this just isn't going to be very good. That's the sad part. It's just not good. Anything that's fun is bad, anything that's good is not fun. I don't have any weapons, so it's kind of pointless. It's gonna be some explosive thing that does 3, okay. May as well just get rid of it now, though, I guess. That maybe wasn't the best idea. You could just wait. Like, doing damage to face isn't gonna make a difference. The 40 health doesn't even bother me that much, but it's just gonna stall things out a bit. Amazing how we still see that after so long. Okay, just do basic stuff here. Gonna get this out for sure, and then you don't really have enough to make this valuable though yet. Okay, that is one of those evergreen things that you just see forever. Right, like ever since it first existed, it's always just gonna be there. I'm surprised it wasn't one of those they don't allow to be used anymore. Just because it's too good almost. The Grim Patron Enabler. Okay, that's pretty hurtful there. Because now you can't even bring it back. So you can never allow them to do stuff like this. We did get sort of our ace card, but it's going to be a problem because he just has too much right now. So it's a good time to do Brawl. Like Wild Ideas, does it involve big African mammals? It could. I'm sure we could fit a card like that into here. So you can do this first, or wait, add something to the hand. Maybe I shouldn't even do it. This is where you'd really like the hero card. Or you could honestly just do this, but I'm one turn short. Maybe I should just stall it out. Kind of a risky thing to do, but I like how there's no downside to that either. You can just get 40 for nothing. Right, just by having it. It's not even a battle cry effect, you just have it in your deck. The 5/1.
For the sire.
After this attacks, equip it.
Bleed.
But even when it's not their class card, they still get to show it off. All the new stuff. Wait, what did she even get that from? Oh, wow. Okay, so 17 is a danger zone here for sure. Just because... Okay, probably going to be a counterspell. If anything, I should have done it the opposite way then, because we could have gotten... No, I couldn't have gotten rid of both because it would still... I wouldn't have enough mana. So 4... You do this just to sort of buy time. That's when you know you're desperate with this. That doesn't really bother me too much. The problem with even the N'Zoth play now is you don't have... She is the warrior now. So you don't even have the charge. This is why you badly need that, because it could save me if I just did that and charged them all into it. This is a really cool card, but not arguably all that great still. But see, imagine the lifesteal bonus you get from it with the Jaina thing, with the Death Knight. I like how they're all called Death Knight heroes, even though there is no Death Knight class. It's just like they each have their own individual version. They should have probably added that. I mean, they did Demon Hunter, which came out much later. So you can do really not a whole lot here. How many would I even get from this? You should probably keep track of it a little bit better. Only 1, so that was completely worthless, even if I did have the charge. This is why you just can't do anything without it. You rely so much on that. Because theoretically charging these in could be good, but... And then here, every turn you get a charge and you can flip it back. I could take this out and then heal it back up by flipping it. So... I think this one would have been salvageable if I had just gotten Boom in time. Right, around turn 7. You can't get it now. Right, you would have to get really lucky or something. Or you could maybe flip the Dry Whisker a few times. That is still an amazing card because if their board is full, you can just get so much armor from it. Needs to be more stuff that increases like the number of units you can put on the board at a time. What, do you have it again? Wait. What happened? Oh, maybe... Wait. Okay, that's... In fact, that would help with the Dry Whisker thing, so you gain like 20 and then do it again. This is just totally bricked and useless. I guess I don't follow the don't resign rule as much in this as I would in other things. Pulse of Runes does 1 extra, so you got 10, 13. Just let her do it. But just do it efficiently. If I'm gonna give you the honor, you just have to take it. You can't be a dick and try to BM. But maybe they'll miss it too. You never know if they're trying to BM and do something cheeky, or if they genuinely don't see that they have lethal. Yeah, maybe she'll miss it and I'll still come out on top. Summon 2 1/1 Rams with Rush to your hand. Killing your own stuff just to show off, I bet. Maybe she has Fireball or something.
My powers are never truly gone.
The next minion you draw inherits these powers. Or some people do it just to be a good sport. Like they want to see something play out even if it delays their victory. Like the Gansley thing. But then if they end up losing, they can't. See, like I still can't do anything. It doesn't change it at all. Yeah, she'd have to draw 4 of those now. Or 3 of them plus a... I guess I thought about Bran last time too. Because you could double that effect, but then you wouldn't be able to flip it back. The problem even like with Thracian is it wouldn't matter because then... I don't think I've heard that voice line actually, but the value wouldn't stay reduced when you flip it back to your hand, right? It only stays the first time you use it. If it did persist, that'd be amazing. Because the whole idea is you never allow the Juggernaut to die in combat or to sort of be on the field in their turn so they can remove it. You always protect it so you can just keep flipping it forever. So like, could I make this and also Bran? Wait. Oh, I don't even know how to spell it. So why doesn't it even say that? What, can you not craft it or what? Like, I know I don't have enough dust, but it should at least say. What's the other one? I just said Bran. I think I have. No, I don't have it. So maybe I could just disenchant a whole bunch of stuff, like everything, except for, because I don't even use anything but this now. I think. Oh, maybe I did have something that I wouldn't want to mess up. Let me double check. Oh, I guess I was doing that. Just warrior and demon hunter only. Fine, so every other class can go, every other expansion, everything, just... So wild should encompass everything, but for some reason it still doesn't sometimes. You have to like distinguish classic and stuff. The UI for all this looks different too. You can do this for like 20. You know, I'm gonna eventually regret not having these either. This is what I always do, because whenever you disenchant to make stuff, you're obviously getting a way worse return for it. So if you just kept everything from the beginning, you'd have way more. It's just you'd have stuff you didn't want at the time. All these random class stuff. Like this I don't care about. I'm not gonna use it. Gain 8 armor. 0-8. That actually seems pretty bad. Immune while you control the shell. Oh wait, what is the... I don't get it though. How do you get both of them? Like it doesn't just summon it by itself. I thought it was just the shell. Okay, all this is fine. I don't have as much stuff here as I actually thought. Go through, get rid of absolutely everything. It's possible there's some things I can open too. Apparently not. Or like you have to go in here. I think this is the dumbest thing. It doesn't just give you stuff when you do it. You have to actually click on it. So who knows how much stuff I've missed by just not going in here like that. Like why do I have to do that? Hopefully most of this I can disenchant. Even here you have to do it. Although I don't know what these actually do. 43% of what? Reached 30. I can't believe I don't even have that. 30? Shouldn't it be 60? How am I not even 30? I guess I don't even use a lot of them though now. Problem with having multiple different accounts like that. Why do I still have this? I thought I changed it last time. The card back. These packs do look pretty good. $570. I guess I could just do arena too, but it didn't go too good last time. Let me disenchant all this and see what I can make. And also, let me change this. I think I was just surprised that I didn't have the legend one still, so I forgot that this is a different account, so... which one did I want to use? I guess I can just go like one by one and just do whatever. Why does this say favorite if... Why is it still using this then? Van card back. Okay, let's do... What else did I have? Win 2,500, something, something. Okay, let's finish doing all these. And then I guess I'll make those two, because I can maybe see some merit to it, even though it doesn't seem that good, really. You could double the battle. I mean, reducing the cost could be good. For anything. Like, that's never a bad effect to have. I'd have to see what I really want to replace it with, though. So this is just regular stuff. So a lot of this isn't going to give me too much. But I would need at least 3,200 to do that. Could be just a fool's errand, too. Believe in the arena GM. Yeah, average 12 wins. It's actually so hard to get that when you really think about it because... Oh, I thought this was a demon. Oh, it is. It's a shared, one of the rare shared cards. Even if it feels like, oh, you have the perfect deck, it can still just not come together to get you 12 wins. Does it tell you how many times you've done that? Probably not that many, honestly. Okay, nobody cares about the hunter. Deal 6 to 3. Excess hits. Yeah, I like all this excess stuff, but there wasn't really enough of it way back when. This I never really saw being used. Either it wasn't good or I just didn't get to that point. Summon 3 friendly. Okay. Look how slow the page turning goes. So all this is completely meaningless. That's what you should almost do, is just commit to one class, but then obviously you might regret it later if you change your mind. Golden. Oh, so I thought you had to specifically look for golden. I thought they didn't show up here. To make sure you don't get rid of something that's like a dual class thing that actually is for one of your classes, but I don't think it would overlap like this. Like, what does the warrior share its with? I forget. Warrior and rogue? That was pretty bad last time, 1 and 3. But I did kind of pick just for the heck of it, which I'll still do now. I'm never going to just pick purely for value. That wouldn't be fun. I like to pick for a theme, right? Like, you start off and you get a bunch of low-cost stuff, so now I want to make it about that, or vice versa. Or you get a certain type of effect, and then you just try to build around that, even if you can't. You just try to force it. Themes are always more interesting that way. And you should still be able to do better than, obviously, that. Alright. Here. I'm surprised I don't have more than this. I thought I had way more dust available. This is pretty surprising. I totally don't have like a separate account for each class that I just have every... That's almost what you could do. But I don't see why it would matter that much. Like, you may as well just do it on one. Right, like, what would be the benefit in doing that? Okay, all this is trash. Shadow. Even that was never used to be a thing, right? Where it distinguishes it as a shadow card. Create or upgrade to gold, I guess. I don't remember gold being shared in this. I thought you had to click something specifically to show the gold. Diamond. What is even that? Owning 25 fractured. I don't even know what this is. There's very few of them anyway. Oh, that's what this was. I was wondering. I thought it was just a different like card type, not just a cosmetic thing. Where was I at? The end of the priest, beginning of the rogue. And classic is the only way for free to play until Blizzard changes the reward system. Yeah, but for somebody like me, I should have like everything in existence by now. I don't think I really would even complain about the free to play aspect because, you know, you just do arena all day for that long and that gives you everything you can need. But yeah, certainly for somebody who is new or something, it would be very tough. Yeah, I kind of screwed myself, I think, by disenchanting so much over time. I could have just kept it, like I said. This is a little bit stupid. A lot of these are new things, too, that, like, I never even looked at. These aren't from way back. These are, like, new-ish expansions. I guess I wasn't aware of any after the Barons was the last one maybe that I saw. I mean, maybe I saw some of the other ones, but I didn't really pay attention. Okay, Rogue can go. I don't think I have any that really overlap this way. 5 and 5. This was a very annoying card that was used in a lot of things. Nothing to see here. Let's go a little bit quicker. After you summon 1 cost, you have a 2/1. After you, okay, we've seen this. Rune Dagger. That one seems pretty old. Need more legendaries or something. I'll at least be able to make one of them, but I don't think I'll be able to make both. That's kind of surprising. It's not really a combo in the sense that, like, you can do it in one turn, right? You just do it and then hope that they draw them eventually, which means you have to stall it out more than maybe you'd like to. So you almost could justify just a car or something like the upgraded hero power just for more armor, just to stall it out. I thought about, like, Dead Man's Hand. I think I even tried it, but that's a bit too slow. Like, where you can just get it to where you have your combo and then keep doing it. But that's only good in, like, very, very slow matchups. Most people don't get enough wins on Arena to afford. Yeah, that's not an issue for me, though, at least. Like, I even have a surplus, even though I haven't done it in so long. And they give you a certain amount for different rewards and stuff. Right? Like, I thought, wasn't there a thing, like, if you win 3 games every day, you get, like, 100, or you got something for it, at least. In Constructed. Wasn't it you win 3, you get 10 gold, or you win 3, you get 100? It must have been 10, but you could only do it up to 100. Used to be something like that. So you could just do that every day, and then you would guarantee it based off that. Of course, it would take forever, though. That's like 30 wins. What is this one? When you play this or discard this, draw 3 cards. All about self-destruction, and then we probably don't want to get rid of any of this, although much of it I don't really use, but you could justify just having every single card for the class, because this is the only one that I really use here. I'm surprised how few I actually have. I'll just leave it. I'm not going to worry about this. Well, I won't even be able to make 1? There must be a lot more than 4 of the normal cards. I just probably looked at them. Was that a legendary? No. Some of those I never even use, so I don't know why I keep them. What is this? Give a random mech +1/+1. That's garbage. Anything related to mechs could theoretically be good, but even the death rattle thing is kind of misplaced, right? I just did it because I didn't know what else to do, and it kind of synergizes with the... I guess I'll keep that in the spirit of the bomb thing, but probably not going to use it. This is garbage. Why do I even have some of these? Remove the classic from the collection. Well, couldn't I just recraft it? I don't really care, dude. I'm not gonna ever use it. What is this classic thing? Like, it's either there or it isn't. It means you can't use it in even wild, which is utterly stupid. They removed that gold match system and replaced it with the rewards track, which can be enhanced by spending money. Otherwise, they probably wouldn't have changed it. Let's see what this is. At the end of your turn, I really don't even remember where I got any of these. Hero power costs 0, which is trash. Why do I have... Oh, maybe some of these were for the Demon Hunter shenanigans. But you would think it would say that. It doesn't even say it. Wouldn't it say like this removes something from an active deck? I was doing some weird stuff with that, just like unpreventable damage stuff. This must be not used because it's new. What is this? Can't attack after your turn with something something. Nobody cares. Yeah, I was... Yeah, see. Or rogue. Whatever, like an all stealth thing maybe I was trying. Which was really bad, I think. For some reason I liked that one. I don't know why. Just because I didn't have anything on curve. The next spell... Okay, that's garbage. Yeah, they definitely did a lot with this Naga thing. Add a random. Okay, I don't need that. Deal 3 damage. For some reason, I must have been using that at some point. Or at least one of them. That must be what that means. Right, because it would have said that on the first one too if both were in there. After you summon a mech, it's just not that type of thing. Although Mech Mage used to be pretty good. Maybe I should try that again one day. By disenchanting all the warrior cards. Stealth. I think this is being used somewhere, sure. So apparently I was messing with Rogue too, but I'm assuming there's one of them. Nax AoE. What does that even mean? Okay, that goes with the theme, but even that's too bad to fit. As much as I can tolerate stuff that isn't good, that's way too bad. Yeah, what is it distinguishing the legacy stuff even for? Like, why does it matter? This was a pretty good card for a while. Face, Tomb, sure. I don't know why that's in there. Oh yeah, I was using the Skulking Geist for some reason. Maybe because I kept meeting the Jade Idol stuff way too much. Can't use that. Yeah, just do a deck with every stealth minion possible so you get a ton of unpreventable damage. Except for the fact that taunts still work against them. You'd have to have some silence and stuff too. After you attack, deal... Okay, that's garbage. This I was enamored with a little bit, and as part of the same sort of thing, the stealth idea. So you just let it hang around for a long time, but it'd have to be way too long, and AoE can still deal with it for a while. Or it's almost like you should try to buff it immediately, get it to a threshold where AoEs can't deal with it. But then I think all they have to do is hit it with one to reveal it, right? I forget how that works. Hate the living. They even have a slur. Livers. Okay. What else? Poisonous. I don't know, for some reason some of these seem like I actually did use them in something. That's just like a default thing that I don't even care about. This we obviously need. This still goes with the mech idea, so I won't get rid of that. Although that's more like my spell canceller thing for the mage. Deal 2 damage, stealth. Was I really doing that? That's what I mean, that must be so bad. There's nothing good about it. But somehow I just liked it. Nothing good but the very concept of it. This takes so long. This is garbage. See, it said only 4, but obviously we had way more than that. Deal 6 to this, nobody cares. Okay, you want to keep those. Can't think of anything else that would fit with that whole N'Zoth Shredder thing. Because the beauty of it is that combo where you get to charge with all of them as soon as you bring them back. Because you also have the hero equipped. If you control a secret, summon a copy of this. Could be good in Arena. In fact, I tried to make that viable last time. Discover a beast. I don't know why that's in anything. I think I was just doing like a very discover heavy thing. Because everybody loves random effects. Put a sentinel. Okay, nobody cares. certainly some of this I don't even recognize, so I couldn't have possibly been using it. That was like my extent of using Demon Hunter, was just trying to do some kind of weird stealth rush aggro type thing. This goes with the mech idea, but you know, we'll just keep it. This, I don't know what it was for. Add Brawl. How many of those are there? Add Brawl, add Brawl, add Brawl, add Brawl. It does give you plenty of deck slots. And it's not like I had to buy them, right? Like I have almost 30. This you obviously need. Hopefully I didn't get rid of something that I'm actually using. This is actually pretty impactful. I'll keep this. Everything that didn't start there. But this would almost counter mine because it would get rid of all the bombs. So I'm not sure. If people start running that, my whole thing is negated. Like they'll have nothing in their deck but like 3 of the Iron Juggernaut bombs, and then they'll play that, and then it just gets them into fatigue. But that would be like the one case that would save them. So you can keep this. Apparently we have a lot of interest in the stealth stuff. Swap the cost. Okay, nobody cares. How many more could there possibly be? Keep that just for the sake of it, but it's kind of too slow. There's something that like lets you start with it, but you have to have like only odd or even or this or that. So summon a 2/2 copy. Okay. Wouldn't trigger the battle cry anyway. This is good. I wonder if they made anything more in the shredder sort of idea. That's always good to have if one cost stuff starts to become an issue. This is okay, but you probably aren't going to use it. Great arena card, though. This I don't even use in here. So I do have some flexibility with this, like all consistent with the theme. Random weapon, we don't have any weapons. Unless you consider bombs to be, but... This, I don't know why I thought would be good, but maybe if you got Iron Juggernaut from it, because then you could make it a 1 cost and keep flipping it. That's the sort of thing that would actually be a bit more viable, but it requires too many steps. It requires first playing this, which is an 8 cost, and you have to hope that you get the Juggernaut from it. Then you have to play it like multiple times. But I think once you play it and flip it back, that effect is going to reset anyway. Right, it's not going to be a 1 cost anymore. Are there any kind of legendaries I could get rid of? Otherwise, we're kind of just... I guess I'll just leave it there. It does give me some incentive to do arena, though. I'm surprised, actually, how far behind we are with that. I thought I had, like, tons of dust just to spare. As you win and lose, it will keep track of your skill and match you against a fair opponent. Yeah, there won't be anybody to live up to that standard, so you won't be able to match me with anybody. So you want to mulligan everything just for those 2 things that we talked about. The hero and the Juggernaut. But I didn't get either one, so you could just concede right now. That's how unfortunately skewed it is. But you'd rather have the hero. Right, the Juggernaut is cool and all, and that's the whole point of this, but... Oh yeah, I don't remember this being that good either, but... Because then this messes up the ner'zhul combo. But if they all have charge, then you could get a lot of damage off with it. What was that? You start the game as a different class until you play a rogue card. But what if you didn't become a rogue? It doesn't say as what class. That's just weird and random and doesn't even seem that good. So thankfully, maybe they're playing a theme thing too. Add a random card. Like, you know, people who do Renounce Darkness or something, you know they're not doing it for efficiency's sake. Okay, this is fine for now. 5 costs 3/5. But wait, how did you even do it then? It costed 2, but why? I don't see what. Oh, cost 1 less for each card you've added to. Oh, okay. Wait, didn't you do a rogue card? So shouldn't that mean that you... until you play a rogue card. So you did play a rogue card. Is it different? Oh, you start as a druid and you were a rogue all along. I get it. So it's them kind of disguising themselves. So here I don't have anything good to do. I guess I could just do this though. You got a 3/5, a 3/5. So never mind, I take it back. It was exactly what they intended all along. So maybe it's not just a fun theme sort of a deck.
I will act as your steel.
Okay, this one goes way back. Oh, they're still using that? I haven't seen that really in a while. I forget what that's even from. It's definitely not super recent. In fact, that's probably borderline not even relevant anymore. Like, it won't be in the standard format. I guess I'll do it even though that's a risky thing just so I can cleave it next turn, but that's probably not even going to happen. Or I could just whack it again, so you're taking 12 from a 4 attack minion. But it's a taunt, so it's going to be a problem otherwise. They want to do this just for tempo's sake. I just want to see this win a few, but it just seems really bad and outclassed, which is kind of sad. That's only bad because it's random, like they wouldn't have normally done that. I'm just letting my health get way too low. Somehow I had in my mind that I could do cleave and that together, which is obviously not the case. So we can do this. The good thing is it gives you +7 to start, and then it also could give you the hero power that gives you 7 too, which is the only source of healing that you're really ever going to get. So otherwise it could be pretty problematic.
This timeline amuses me.
If you're holding Dragon Deal 3 to all just enemies, okay. Not really the best time to do it. Oh, it doesn't trigger on summon. I don't have a choice but to do this. And the reason why Death Rattle's triggered twice could be a good justification actually to do this. In fact, I can't. No, I can't do that. That's cute and all, like you could get those to trigger twice, but they won't even have charge or anything, so she still could have killed that before. But it does soak up a little bit of damage here. Right, if she just went face the whole time, I would be gone.
Dark in the sky.
Draw 1 card, it costs 0. So that's not going to matter much, but that's the 1 card you drew. Sometimes all their card draw can actually help you, because they're cycling into the bombs more quickly. Deal 3 to an undamaged, but there is nothing undamaged. What do you mean? Helping out a little bit, but we want the Juggernaut still too. In fact, that kind of hurts because now I won't have as many of these, and I'm giving up armor too. Like we would have gotten more, but I guess there's not really room for that many more. That was a pretty good combo. Usually that one's not that great, but there it looked pretty good. So imagine if you did combine that with Baron Ribbon there normally, but that'd be too hard to set up, wouldn't it? Or maybe you could do them both in the same turn. Doesn't he only cost 3? If he cost 3 and that cost 7, you could guarantee that exact... Oh, wow. Getting ideas from random dynamic summon stuff. Let me actually look at that after this, but I also won't have enough to make that either. So now you could certainly do the charge. So I'll even keep the 1/1s there. So now you just have to finish her off quick. Right, the Juggernaut would be good, although there are still 17 cards. Plus 8, fine. There's no need to even do execute. The problem is I just don't feel like using any of those, but sometimes you do have to put them out there just to, you know, get something on the board. So maybe you should do the Brewmaster. Even if you flip the 1/1, it's not a big deal. And I'm just kind of giving the tempo back to her if she wants to take it. Just summon anything. That's not really that good. That seems like a weird effect, but it does make sense in terms of stealth. But that's just more like impersonation. So this will summon back a few of the bombs that we got to do a ton of damage when I spend all of my mana. How did you know I was going to do that? Oh, it wouldn't have to be 10 though. At the very least, that'll do a certain amount. Oh, maybe we did get the Rivendare trigger. But then how did he even die if it was the same turn? It's not like my own bombs can damage. That was the complaint like with Dr. Boom, is it almost felt like the bomb should be able to hit either opponent's stuff, not just your opponent. That made it like just a guaranteed positive thing. This is a good time to do the little this. Get a little bit of armor out of it. And also flip this. Well, let me hit it first. No. Well, let's kill this and then we'll hit something and then we'll flip it back too. So that'll be an amazing sort of power play next. This is also a mech. But let's just hit that. Oh, maybe I had lethal and I didn't even think of it. But this should be a win for sure regardless. So summon this. Oh, that should have easily been if I just went face. But then it's possible she has like cheat death or something, which I forget what that even is or if that even is a thing. Oh, you shouldn't get too cocky like that. You got to take it when you get the chance. We also got to enjoy it and play it out. So we can do N'Zoth again. So cycling these can be pretty good, but it depends on the pace of the game. Oftentimes you want the mechs that summon something as a death rattle for the slower pace. This was more aggro, I guess. This is just a neutral card or no? Set the health of everything to 1. Deal 1 damage to everything. That's a fitting way for it to end. And it does sort of negate Ice Block and stuff, secrets, right? If they draw into it, that only works on your turn. So even if she did have that, all this unpreventable, unmitigatable stuff, which I like a lot. That's why I should try to make a flying deck like in Magic, where they have to specifically play around it, or they just have to deal with it and try to rush you down. Right, because you need reach or you need flying yourself to be able to stop it. Which I don't think everybody is just going to have. So you have the ability to mulligan everything. We're looking only for the Juggernaut and the Hero card. So we don't get either of them. That's not a big deal. So how slow pace is this going to be? I mean, if you feel like they're going to rush you down, you could just do this as a turn 2 play. But let's see what he does. Like some kind of Murloc thing. Okay. So maybe you should have that in mind. Because it's more important to survive this stage than actually, you know, just trying to do what you're trying to do. Which maybe takes some of the fun out of it, but just making that adjustment is important. So is he going to go face? So it saved me 2 damage at least, which isn't a big deal, but imagine if you just let stuff like that stick and then let it get buffed and this and that. You can get out of hand really easily. But these are not very high quality Murlocs at least. So maybe it's just not that good. I'm sure there's better ones you could do. Okay, here we go. So you got the 4-3 out there. You'd think he'd run dry on cards, but that's exactly what that helps to counter. You just go all in and then you fill your hand with them again. So the Brawl is going to be very important for after the Megafin play. It's going to be mega important to counter it. The problem with this is, if you can get rid of my... Well, but it's so sticky that it'll come back. You'll trade something into it, but then you get something back, which could be good. That's actually ironic. After you play a Murloc, summon... It could actually help him, like by buffing, but it actually doesn't in this case. Okay, this is very dangerous. See, what you want to do is resist the urge to do Brawl now, because you want to save it for when what's going to come. So I'm trying to just match the board with the board. You would think he wouldn't have too great of an ability to deal with this, but that Flame Tongue is very scary. So 2, and then you could just ignore it, but you can't let me... Okay, so he only has 3 cards. But it's like I'm not going to be able to stop him from doing that. I just have to hold out for now, but this is a very dangerous thing to do. If he has like a team buff type of thing like the War Leader, this could be over already. I think they nerfed the... Oh my god. They nerfed the War Leader somehow. He's only got 7, 8, 9. I'm tempted to do it, but this is the worst time to do it. I don't even know if I have a second one. I think I do, but there's no guarantee I'm going to get it. I could get like Warpath or something, though. That would be equally effective here. And then I could save the Brawl. That's a very dumb thing to do, but I kind of need it more than he does. This my desire to save the Brawl is concerning. 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. So I guess I have no choice but to do it now. Just top deck a Warpath would be amazing. We can get the 3 in an endless chain, but he's trying to make room too, because he should just summon it right now, right? It only costs 5, I think. Oh shit. If he gives Wind Fury, it's over too. But he probably should have just done that before then. Poisonous. Okay, I think I have to do it now no matter what, unless I get Warpath. Okay, I have no choice. And I even have to like just drop this as a straight negation type of play, just on the board. 5. So I still don't think he'd necessarily have lethal. In fact, it's not a Murloc, so he can't even adapt it or buff it directly, right? This doesn't count as one. So you're really looking for... He's going to do the Mega Fin, he's going to fill his hand, and it's possible that one of those could be like a charge or something. But he's kind of hesitating to do it. Plus 2 HP. You need something crazy here. We do get it, and I have no choice but to do it. But I still won't be able to even get rid of whatever he does. So you might think that's a fortunate top deck, but... 2-2, that was really the best case scenario even.
That's incredible.
Hit the face, bring this back. So now all you have to do is Mega Fin into a whole bunch of other Murlocs, and you know I won't be able to stop it. Even if I got like... I guess I could trade into it and then do... what's it called again? Warpath?
This jungle hides many secrets.
Oh yeah, I have that in like my Renounce deck. That's sort of like all about putting random cards in your deck that don't start there for a Warlock, which now has become increasingly common, like especially for Rogue. You could trade into that. All it's gonna take is 2 though to just screw me over. I still don't think there's much I can do about it. Maybe I'll have to do... Oh, I guess I could hope that that does something, but it does absolutely nothing. So now you're left with 3. So again, why not do Mega Fin and hope for a charge? That's my question to him. The bomb aspect here isn't going to help me much at all. It'll be a card that makes it like do overkill damage to the minions, or you can choose to have it target them instead, that 5. And then the overkill still comes back and hits him. That would be kind of too good though. That's an amazing use of it for a single minion. So he held back Mega Fin the whole time, which probably wasn't the right play. I mean, he probably could have ended it a lot sooner if he just did that. Likelihood of getting a charge there is pretty... I guess he expected me to have more. I should really keep a tally of, like, the ones that I do win. Like, how many am I actually able to win with this? And the answer is probably pretty much none.
Versus Nemzi.
This was one that you had to go to like a real life thing to get, right? Like a fireside gathering or whatever. But for some reason I think I have it still, and I never did that. So we get the one we really need. If you want to get that on a good curve, you can do it on turn 7 for the 7 armor. You just want to do some good plays leading up to it. I can do it on turn 6 even out of a coin. The problem is this early game few moves can be really tough to do, because you're not going to want to put a lot of these down because you want to save them for later. But maybe you should. It depends how much of an imminent threat you really feel like you're under. You'd also do a coin into this if you feel the need. I just love the idea behind this. It's just not viable. So I don't have to do it, but it almost seems like we're doing Armor Warrior versus a Iron Golem thing. The Lava Golems where she'll just do a hand lock, right?
It's time for a little blood.
The Twilight Drake comes out, except that's not what this is. You shouldn't underestimate it though. So I kind of want to save the 4, even though it would have been on curve. I think next turn I might not get anything that's gonna be, so it doesn't matter. And then turn 6 we can obviously do the hero card. After you play a minion destroyed and summon a 4/4. It means she's gonna have a lot of weenie stuff. You can just do that. Now out of that very massive hand, she's probably gonna summon a bunch of stuff. Flame imps and whatnot. So the 4/4s could be a little bit concerning. Once you get this out though, then you get a lot of charges. You can get more mechs from the hero power. You can get the 1/1s. You can, you know, the discover aspect is amazing. That's why Rexar is so good. You get 3 4/4s or only 1. So that's not even a big deal. I guess that doesn't count towards it. There's no reason not to do it. Like, as long as you're not completely losing by doing it. Could the taunt maybe be more valuable? I guess it doesn't really matter a whole lot, but he would have probably sacked the 1/1 into it anyway, the 3/1, so it wouldn't have made a difference. So yeah, it shows you on their turn what you get to use in your next turn. So I guess you can plan ahead a little bit. Transform one of your minions into a copy of this, so very 4/4 obsessed kind of deck. It's like a poor man's version of the Crystal Caves thing where everything's a 5/5. So you're looking at the ability to... It's amazing that you can't make better use of this with the charge. You kill one of them and we can kill another one, and then we can get 1 to 3, and then I could still summon something. But I think I'll be a little bit laid back with it just because I do have... I mean, anything I get could charge, so it's hard to believe that I wouldn't have that. Even like the Juggernaut, I could charge and flip back because it wouldn't die from the 4 damage.
Whoa, too many cards.
So they're just playing like a moron.
I can't move.
It seems like she'll burn out though at some point. Besides just burning her own cards, literally. Okay, so that's perfect. You can just sack that for a trade. And you're setting up for maybe a N'Zoth. That is unfortunate for me, but it could be unfortunate for them too. Maybe, but maybe not as much. What does this do? When this awakens, give all minions in your hand +2/+2, and there's nothing you can do to stop that. I don't remember that being that good. It'd be amazing for Arena, sometimes. You wouldn't want to play this early maybe, but could be a good early game tempo thing. So he's really desperate to get rid of that, so that's like your hard counter because everything she has probably costs so little, which is the strength of it, so it's not worth it to do otherwise. So that was like a free turn she just gave me. You can kind of overdraw her.
Whoa, too many cards.
This would have... Oh, shit, but the bad thing with that is... Oh, that is kind of the way to counter it, too, is for them to just let the cards burn. Then they don't take the damage. So if they know that you get to that point... So I guess a Warlock could theoretically do that. The only problem with that is they have to make sure they're always at 10 cards, which means they are going to burn some of their own and not get as many as maybe they'd like to use, but it is a worthy sacrifice once you figure out what I'm trying to do with all the bombs. So that is the one way to actually counter what is otherwise an unpreventable thing, unless you can alter your deck somehow, like switch it with your opponent or fill it with a bunch of cards. Like even Jade Idol kind of counters it. That's why I had the Skulking Geist, because you can just keep stacking it with 3 and 3 and 3. So they're going to have so many cards in their deck that they're not going to be able to, yeah, what is that? Oh, like card destruction? It's, okay. But yeah, you fill your deck with so many Jaded Idols that you're not going to... Jaded, I say, because I'm jaded to the deck, because I saw it way too many times. So you could do this now, but it's too early. 4/4 stealth with that effect. I guess I could just do this. Kind of missing out on the hero power, though. What? I have 0? How could that be? Did I really... I guess whatever I had, she drew or didn't draw, she burned. Okay, that was a big misjudgment. I should have a mental counter of the bombs that are going on. That could have been the misplay that really cost me here if it does come back to bite me. A lot of 1/1s, which doesn't... Wait. I don't know what's going on. When you play or discard this, draw 3 cards. Gaining a little bit of health back is not going to make a ton of difference. Are you going to try to take out the 7/7 though, or are you just going to leave it? Is the question. Summon a 2/2 wolf with stealth. That seems like it would fit in my whole stealth theme thing. So she's giving up quite a bit to do this, which is good. Getting her to play on the defensive. I can get a little bit of this death rattle stuff back. Or I could just, let's discover and try to play this differently. The Curator, add 2 1/1 riders with rush to your hand. Since everything she has is such a weenie, I guess I could do it like this for now. Your deck has no duplicates. I don't know if that's going to be true or not. I should know it well enough to be able to say that, but... You could do this. You could... Wait, oh, it's a death rattle. I guess I do have to play them just because... Yeah, that's such an overused thing, like on dating sites and whatnot. Here for a good time, not a long time. It makes sense in the context of the Dark Moon Fair, though, because it only goes on for a shortened amount of time. A certain amount of time. So a 6/5. This is kind of a very stale part of the game here, because it's like... There's got to be a breaking point we get to. It doesn't even have to be the Juggernaut necessarily, but... We should at least have 2 Death Rattle things that I could summon. This is very annoying. It almost justifies doing Brawl, but I'm still not going to do it. So you get the 6, 6 and a 4, then a 4 and a 1, and then you get the little ones out of it too. That wasn't bad. Now you have to really worry about getting rid of this because you know I could flip it back. That unfortunately causes me to burn a card, which if it does turn out to be the Juggernaut would be very, very upsetting. But let's see what she can do. She has to focus. You gotta basically treat it like N'Zoth has Taunt, because unless they have lethal, they're gonna want to take it out. Or maybe they don't expect that I would expect that to happen, so I wouldn't have a way to flip it back. But then I expect that they wouldn't expect that me to have that, so I do have it. Or it's not really meant for that, but see, that's a good overlapping synergy. If you can't flip the Iron Juggernaut because you don't have it, or it's just not that type of game, you can flip something else like N'Zoth and make that very useful. So either way, it's value. In fact, I've gotten more value out of this today than anything else. Add 3 random cards you discarded to your hand. Battle Cry. Does burning cards count as discarding? I feel like it probably wouldn't, because it was never in your hand to begin with. Place your hand with random demons. Maybe you should have... Oh, I would have said play that after, but you couldn't have because you would have lost that too. Well, that's kind of just like throwing in the towel too, just how she... Oh, shit. Wait, why did I draw 2? I don't even know what happened there, but... Oh, after... Wait. Whatever, we could do the N'Zoth flip. Which is actually quite good.
Okay then.
Let's just summon these. I guess I could have done this when she had that massive board, but I guess I'll save it. So you want to kill this. Oh, how much more could I have done to the face? Not enough, but I gotta look for lethal more. You have a decent board, but you have an excellent hand still, too. You could do it, and then you could flip it again if you really wanted to. Okay, I guess I would have had lethal then, but I couldn't have known that. Although with this few cards, maybe you could have banked on it. But see, then, if she didn't do it, then people would say, oh, well, you shouldn't have overcommitted. You shouldn't rely on that. Dumb luck. So now if I somehow lose, that'll come back to bite me. So you gotta have that faith, like, in the heart of the cards, as they say. You could just do it again, but let me actually get it to, like, the 4 threshold. Then we can sack the 4 3s into it. See, now at least, now I'm clicking. Like, I understand the damage values and everything. So it makes sense to do that. In fact, I probably didn't have to even do it that way. Because whatever. I probably missed lethal twice in a row now. But just look at these imposing boards. With the 6 4s that come back. With the 5 7 that you have to get rid of, or I'll flip it back again. You have to get rid of it. You have to. 5 5. Doesn't matter.
We don't have any.
You're good.
The N'Zoth was the MVP of a lot of these.
This time.
That's what you get for going to a Fireside Gathering, for doing something in real life. Not too bad. Yeah, because I've totally never won 5 in that before. Get to legend rank and wild with this garbage deck. Still stuck at fucking bronze. You can't even choose to play casual anymore in a format, right? There's just casual as its own format, but you know what I mean? Like, there is no just wild casual. It's only ranked wild or nothing, which is kind of not super fun, because what if you get to a super high rank, but then you want to play some other wild deck that isn't that good? You wouldn't be able to without risking your rank, right? I think that's the issue with it. Like, you can get to legend rank, and now it's like, oh, you want to play as some random thing that you just thought of, but you don't want to risk your rating to do it. The mages tend to be very annoying here. Definitely don't have the best record against them, but let's see what I can do. I mean, starting with this is always a plus. That increases your win rate by at least 50% right there, just to guarantee that you have it by turn 7. In this case, we can even use it on turn 6. Because just once you get that going, it at least gives you a chance, right? And even the mechs that you discover can sometimes be transformative. It can really give you a clutch play. Because, of course, random effects are the whole lifeblood of this experience. For better or for worse. So 3, I still don't have anything that I really care to do. What we might end up coining into is just the piloted thing here. Everything is fine with this. You just have to remember that this deck doesn't have a bunch of defensive utility. So unless you're counting this, or I guess the Dry Whisker is good for that too. That saved me so many times, because like they have 5 things on the board. I'll play it, I'll flip it, I'll play it in the same turn. So you gain like 20-30 armor just from that in one move. And then if you can clear the board, especially if it's not super strong stuff that they have. This is a little bit concerning, but it's not like the freeze effect matters, because we don't have any weapons here. So we could do the turn 5 piloted shredder thing, or a sky golem. Other than that, I don't see anything too good though. You can't just let them build up this much tempo though. See, maybe you should do the Brewmaster there and just assume like, okay, it's going to be more value just to come out there than to sit in my hand and hope that I can flip something later. +2, the next minion you draw inherits these powers. Warpath isn't quite good enough right now. I'm just going to do this as a meat shield, but again, she can probably very easily deal with it. That's why it's just way too slow pace of a play. In fact, I might regret not being able to do... I might just have to brawl here even. Because if she can remove it, like she polymorphs or something, then you're going to be in real trouble. It doesn't look that bad, but this is really what's going to save me here. So would it be better to do this or this? Probably this, because the +2 is going to be bad. But then again, you just cycle that in a very fun and interactive way that you can't prevent. Now the good thing is you still get something back, which isn't too bad. You could actually bring it up to a 6, 8, 10. Or no, 7, 9, 11, wait. 5, 7, 9. But that would just be kind of unnecessary. If I do it twice, it'll kill some of the stuff. I can take my pick of what I want to kill. I mean, I guess just 5 damage is more concerning. I don't know if that was really the right way to do it, but I just didn't want to use Brawl. So now if she stacks up the board, assuming I don't have Brawl, because I wouldn't have used that if I did have Brawl, that's where you're kind of baiting them. Then you get to do something else. I do have this turn 7 play, but... Okay, that was at least good. That was kind of a dead place scenario. But not really. Fuck. I don't have much of a choice. So this is very risky. Because she can just do as much damage as I just saved there. And I don't get any more armor here. So maybe I'll just brawl this turn.
The icy wings of
Yeah, I might have to do that. That was actually kind of help me though. Right, to make the brawl more effective. So I wouldn't want to do that. In fact, I probably want to summon something myself. Give her more cards to kill me with, but you can do this. So now there's a ton of stuff that could be left over. One of the 0-1s, my 2-2s, even the 3-4. We get the worst possible option, which is fair enough. It's just dumb luck. Like last time they had like 5 things, I had 1 thing, and my 1 thing survived. So it happens both ways. You can't complain about that. Internal RNG in a card game is such an impactful thing. 2-0-1 Frozen Champions. Most card games don't necessarily have that. Like Yu-Gi-Oh has very little of that unless you build a deck like Joey's that really, you know, plays into it. And that almost implies that he's just not good, so he uses luck to compensate. But then he turns out pretty good. You like this brawl? I bet my opponent does too. Whatever generic name they might have. I want to cover up my name, but I don't want it to cover up their name. That's so stupid too. Alright, so now... I guess you could use it to charge into it. Right? Like, how many do I have? 0. How do I keep miscalculating that? I guess I just assume that there's always something. Right? There's at least 1 bomb in the deck, which gives you 2 for each. It is a pretty good combo. You just have to be aware more of the bomb counter in your head. Every time you put 1 in, you should count it. Every time it gets blown up, you should count it. But you got to do it in your head. Just like chess, you can't use a real board to look at positions while you're playing online. In this, you can't like make notes. Although I guess you wouldn't really know. I could have a notepad next to me, and oh, that'd be so dirty if you did that. Like if you were in a tournament, you could literally have a notepad next to you and count everything out.
versus
The dragon must prevail.
I must protect the wild. Victory or death!
Most of the legendaries in this game do feel like they are dragons, so we just keep the Juggernaut. Can we get a game where the Juggernaut is actually impactful? Because that hasn't happened yet. That's literally the whole point of what I'm doing. And it can be very fun to do, but at least we finally have it now. But now I also want the 7, the hero. It feels weird calling it Dr. Boom because you think of the card when you do that. And not even this one, the actual one that I don't have in here. I should make some variations of this deck, but this seems like at least a better one. Oh, okay, this is the perfect hand that you could ever dream of. So if I don't win this one, then I'm just done. That's all you need to do. And you don't want to play this first because you want to be able to flip it back. So you got to think of it as like a combo card. You want to get this on a nice turn 7. Do that first, and then you get the charge value out of it too, the rush value. So you could coin this out if you were concerned about it. It seems a little bit unnecessary though. You don't have to force it like that. But just if you get that sense that they're going to rush you down or do something like that. Now we can't... I guess I could do a turn 4 anyway though, so it didn't hurt me. Turn 4 Shredder. Turn 5 we have to hope for something. Turn 6 nothing right now. Turn 7 is good. So turns 4 and 7 are good. 5 and 6 are questionable. I might drop that Brewmaster just... Well, that makes the weapon seem really good. You have Millhouse? No, I don't. What did I use Millhouse for? There was a particular deck that I used them for a lot. But now I can't remember what it is. It must have been some classic, like, just very aggro warlock type of thing. Hero power also freezes the target. Does that mean it'll freeze me if I use this? I love to speculate on interactions like that, but I can't afford to actually do that. There's a 4/5 Boomkin. Restore. Now really it's a Moonkin. They just call it Boomkin as like a slang. Restore 8 health or deal 4 damage. That doesn't really seem right as a fitting effect. Restore 8. That seems like too strong. You got 5 and 1, so now the turn 6 is still a question. You don't really want to do this right away. Once again, I'm failing at my bomb count. There's at least 3 in there though, right? Because he hasn't taken any damage. So you would be able to fill the board with those. And if they have rush, even better. Because you can clear his board and do a ton of damage, guaranteed. That's maybe where a synergy like Bran or something could come into play. Bran or Baron Rivendare to really make those 1/1s actually have a big impact. The turn 6 we can just do on a simple level like this. This works out pretty well with the 1 HP. So now I have a choice between these two. I think I still want to do this first though. Right, the rush is just way too valuable. Way too good. And again, you can cycle through cards here with the hero power. Draw 3 cards, summon a plant with taunt and stats equal to your hand size. Stats equal to your hand size. That's kind of interesting. So this is a safe enough play to do it. We can easily cancel that out. Doesn't really matter what the hero power is now, so we get 3 damage. This is one of the weaker ones that often isn't good, but it's still okay. I mean, it's like the Gul'dan one, but just not with lifesteal. now we have a whole bunch of charge opportunities. I think this is the logical thing, especially if he fills the whole board, but he instead does that. Give your minions something. There are no minions. Summon. Okay, this makes the 1/1s very viable. Just don't buff them. I do love the chaos of these type of things, like Yogg or something like that. It's amazing that Yogg was actually considered a good card in the meta though at the time, despite that, under certain circumstances at least. So the bombs are very viable. It should fill my board with them. As far as I can tell, I put at least 3 in there, so I should get at least 6 bombs. So my math can't be wrong now. I do have to pay more attention to stuff like that though. Alright, so you know exactly... Oh shit. Oh, that kind of screws me because I want to get rid of the poisonous thing. Damn it. There's only so much left on the board. I mean, it'd be hard to... Damn. That's pretty unlucky, actually, that nothing would target both of those. It's fine, it's fine. Because even if I could flip this guy back, I could do that whole thing again, which would be amazing. That just makes it too easy for him. This is still going pretty well, but I don't know what these 10 cards are going to be. I kind of like doing this, but I do want to start like a major series too. I just can't decide what to do. I'm honestly at a loss. Like I can't think of a good one. I have a few like on my docket for the poll, but I'm kind of saving those, or unless people really vote for them. But I want to do something different. Battle cries trigger twice. Refresh empty mana crystals to the cost of the most expensive card in your hand. Put 3 colossal minions at the bottom of your deck. Okay, dude. So now you'd like a brawl or something along those lines. I don't know if I really like that. How many things you got, dude? This is one of those crazy combo moves. I mean, basically, if I don't get brawl, I'm gonna lose. That's it. There's nothing I can do about this. I guess you could do this to buy a little bit of time, but it's just not gonna matter. In fact, you're giving up 7 armor to even do it, so why even bother? You may as well just do it next turn, because he's still gonna have that much stuff on the board. That was such an insane turn. 2, 4, 5, 5, 4, 5, 5, 5, 6, 6 from an empty board. Like, what is that? That's like a Yu-Gi-Oh type of move with the XYZ synchro bullshit. A major series, like a hard mode series. Like, these are kind of things I do when I have extra time, but I've just been doing such short streams lately. So like how I was doing Ocarina of Time or Dark Souls or whatever. Oh, I actually have an idea. Speaking of Dark Souls, we could do... Oh, God. I don't even have a way to flip it back now, so what am I going to do? I have to draw some stuff? You could still give me Brawl. You could have still done it. You could still do it, and I still won't lose. I could do it next turn. Okay, okay. You ask and you shall receive. That's what the Dry Whisker can just do, is it can buy you time. Now you're thinking there's no way he would just top deck Brawl, even though he just drew like 5 cards. So now go ahead, overcommit. As long as he doesn't put some sort of Death Rattle protection like the 2/2 Tree Ant summon thing or something. Even that wouldn't be so bad. Devour everything, spit them back. Oh. Oh, that's just... That doesn't matter. In fact, that even helps me because he didn't bother to kill them. He spits them all back on my side. The perfect play. We could flip that sucker back as well, the Dry Whisker, but he's not going to get that many minions again, surely, on his side of the board. So you could say, oh, that's lucky like a top deck, but we drew... Wait. Oh, you still keep that. We drew the cold... or we played 2 Cold Light Oracles to get it. Freeze 2 random enemy minions. Choose a friendly minion, discover a minion of the same type. Guess I'll do this.
Frozen, he likes or I scream when you scream.
Maybe I'll just leave it and let them deal with it, but that 5/5 to the face could be very deadly. I like how magic completely does away with minions attacking each other. That's maybe the main two changes that are good for Hearthstone objectively. I think I'm dead. Wait, 9? Oh, maybe not. Like, the fact that lands are taken out and mana is just an automatic thing that happens every turn. It still preserves the same concept, but it's not as taxing on your cards and stuff. And like where you get bricked with just drawing too many lands, or you don't get lands enough, that could pose too many problems. So it just equalizes it for both people with the mana. And then on the other side, you can actually attack minions instead of only blocking with them, which seems more intuitive maybe. So here we have the ability to... The freeze was pretty good. This is where the charge becomes amazingly good. You get a free, or I mean not the charge, the rush. Charge hasn't really been a thing in so long. So I guess I lost count of how many are still in there, but it's not going to matter with this 48 that we have to deal with. I really need that armor effect off of here. I wasn't able to flip the dry whisker back yet again. This is how hard it is to win at 9 bronze, leopard gnome level. It's the beginning of the month too, so it's not like... Well, I don't know if that makes it harder or easier. It usually would probably make it harder because the people who are better haven't gotten to the high level yet. So they're gonna roll over you to get there. And what is all this? This is where just power creep feels like bullshit. It's just too much stuff. Fill your board like 3 times. I just can't stop it. Give your heads rush. And some of these kind of are things I'm not even familiar with from the main. I mean, obviously the hero power is convenient and perfect, but it shouldn't take that. What does this do? Almost sounds like he's saying Kakarot. Whenever something is frozen. It's just too convenient, isn't it? Like, if I didn't have that specific thing, I lose. So I don't even feel too good about surviving there. It's just too much. Now he'll summon another full board of stuff for like the 5th time. Hard mode. Win against every bot. Simulated personality on chess.com. But that, I mean, every bot would be impossible because that would go up to like Stockfish, wouldn't it? He just does it again. Like, what's happening here? How did he get another one? I don't get it. I'm getting the perfect convenient thing, but I'm not too happy about it. 5/3, put a sunken detector on the bottom of your deck, which I don't even know what that is. Should I destroy one of these, or... I'll just hit face. I don't even know what to do about it. Just have to hope for like a 3/1 or something. And then I can hero power it. But it shouldn't have any effect with just that on the board. I'll do one of these just because the flip effect is not going to be as relevant now. Just how many times can you fill your board? I'm just curious, dude. I'm getting bored of seeing it over and over. But yeah, I could beat the personalities, I'm sure. But if it's just like people who aren't even that good, at least. Not Hikaru and stuff. He's more than a personality. Do something, swap it. Pretty similar purposes there. So now the charge is going to have to come into play in a big way. You could do 6, you could do 2. In fact, that helped me because otherwise I wouldn't have been able to do the flip in such a cost-effective way. So here you're going to see what the Juggernaut can do. Finally. You flip it back. You hit this. You do the hero power. See how we're hanging on by a thread. So So if I get that 7 armor thing here, it would be a godsend. Am I gonna get it? Yes. Okay, so we got what we need. As long as you can hit something with 4 or less and flip it back. If it's something 5 or more, then we have to do like this. Not because we can't kill it, but because it's the same attack, but because we don't want this to die. And this, in a certain sense, you do want to die, because then you can use N'Zoth. So you could Zola the... Oh, you could do it, too. You could sack it and then copy it, but you wouldn't want to do it this turn. So did he finally run out of stuff to just flood the board? Like, this game is not a good representation of what this deck is going to do, because that was super hyper lucky with some of the 1 HP stuff. Very unlikely to get that. So he gets to 6-7. I spoke too soon. That he might have actually burned out of something. So you could do this. Get it to 1. You could just cleave, because I don't think cleave's going to come into much value later. Look at how hard this is, dude. This is insane. This is what I mean by like hard mode everything. I make it harder for myself just to make it interesting. This is so bad that we have to... Like, he's probably going to flood the board again. How many times? How many times? Look at this. It's not even... After hero attacks, give this 2 attack. So how do you get it up to like 6 last time? It's just too much. I mean, how many times can I do the same thing? It's just not even right. I guess I have to do this and hope we get a certain amount to be able to charge, but it's probably still not going to be enough. That's the sad part about it. Oh, you can't even do that, of course.
I scream, you scream.
We'll do this. We can freeze a certain amount of stuff. If you control... So it's just like an endless loop, isn't it?
I scream, you scream.
You have to destroy these. I'm kind of confused as to how that even works, but it ended up working out. That was an insane... Dude, N'Zoth is coming in so clutch today. I actually love this. There's just so many cool things that you can do with this one. Now you see why it's one of my like evergreen favorites. Best bot is Karana with only a strength of 2840. Should be easier than Invisible DS Chick. I don't know about that, dude. 2840. I could beat him in a correspondence one where I just take forever. Maybe, not really. Or I can consult the engine and it's legal. Apparently, somewhat. At the end of your turn, transfer... What? Why, because he burned out? Counter the spell, something, something. Transform a neighbor into a copy of this. You could do this. Keep that alive. Do this. Now you can flip this sucker back. So we still didn't let the Juggernaut try. In fact, for some reason this feels like the right play. Don't even worry about it, and then you can do this and you can do that. So we're committing pretty hard in. We're safe on HP. So maybe he finally concedes that his deck is burned out. This just makes it look actually amazing that we were able to survive all that. That is just like the best case scenario. That's probably not ever going to happen though. That was an amazing, amazing one. At rank 9 bronze leper gnome. Old God's OP. That's been in the game for a while too. It's not like it's a new power creep type of card. Like older power creep when the power creep wasn't quite as bad. So you could do it again. That's the beauty of it. You could do it twice more. Look at this. Look at this. I'm just going to BM this guy. It doesn't even matter. You got 2 more. And that Death Rattle effect is off the chain. I'm going to assume he just can't deal with that one either. But normally you would never do it like this. So now the Juggernaut's just the icing on the cake. But not the main event. So I even sacrificed being able to flip it back. Although I could do Baleful banker still too, but that puts it in your deck instead. Well, this should be in the bag, unless he has some other crazy stuff still. We somehow outlasted him with the deck that's not meant to do that at all. May as well just do this yet again, although that's kind of a weak use of it. I'm not sure I really like that, but just because we have 2 of them. Probably pretty hard for him to deal with this, but some kind of poison seeds combo with Starfire, because you should be able to do that in Wild, right? It should be allowed.
Trust me.
This was actually an excellent display. I guess you can ignore the rank, like that was just good. If it can hold up to that, I'm pretty happy about that one. But again, why is it still so hard at this low level? Let me do like a draft at least. Of course, you can't really lose stars at this level, I don't think. Well played. So let's do a little draft. And so the last one went so well. Maybe I'll try to make it a little bit better. Let's do Shaman for whatever reason. Draw a card, infuse, draw 3 instead. Upgrades after friendly minions die. Now, would that happen even in the hand? I guess it must, because it would be a battle cry. So if 4 things die while it's in the hand, you draw 3 cards. I mean, that's pretty good, and it's probably pretty likely to happen. You want to get a lot of low it's like the first 2 or 3 cards you should use to dictate what the rest of the deck is going to be. Deal 4 damage to each hero. Actually, we'll save that maybe for next time.